E la ciurma, io sono Matsetes e benvenuti in questo nuovo video per la LudoNarraCon 2023. Ci troviamo oggi con Death Trick Double Blind. Demo sempre e niente, andiamo a scoprirla insieme. Prezioso sta cosa qua. Continua, non può pinzarlo. Vedete, c'ha il coltello che lancia. Vediamo un po'. Morgan's traveling circus is coming to town. A call from Talgay? New case, maybe? That's it. I need to show him this letter. Hi, this is Detective Jones from Jones Investigative Service. How can I help you? Alright, that is it. I have to make it work. Come in. Mr. Morgan? An older gentleman sits behind the desk, so engrossed in the documents that he didn't even look up when I came in. Mr. Jones, I've been expecting. He stopped halfway through his sentence when he looked up from her desk. Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting other visitors. Ok, allora lui è il capo del circo. Proprietario. It seems like you have me at a disadvantage, miss? Jacqueline, but you can just call me Jackie. Alright, Miss Jackie. Is there anything I can do for you? Sometimes conversations can feel like a battle, and you need all the weapons in your arsenal. A good conversationalist can wield every piece of weapon in their collection to do a variety of things. Ask questions, give answers, present evidence, spread gossip. This is your collection. Everything you need for conversation can be found here, separated into 3 categories: information, item, and people. Okay. When the collection screen comes up, click these tabs on the top to sift through categories. From there, click on a piece of item and click question mark to inquire about the topic and advance the conversation. Later, you will be able to inquire everyone about everything in your collection, but for now, focus on answering the other parties' questions and keeping the conversation flowing. Chiediamo questo. Situazione del circo. Actually, the right question to ask is there anything I can do for you? Excuse me? Your circus is in a tough place. He narrowed his eyes for a second, but seemed to decide against speaking. Instead, he leaned back into his chair and crossed his arm, waiting for me to speak. Must be careful here. Your star performer has been missing for a week. People are talking, the papers are speculating, and your customers are protesting. You sold your tickets on the promise of seeing a show from the amazing Etty, the greatest female magician of the decade, but no one got to see her perform. It's the weekend and the big show is coming up. If she still fails to show up... He cuts me off, his sharp gaze cutting into my pupil. Miss Jackie, why are you here? I'm here to audition, of course. You're here to audition. Uh-huh. For the magician job. Yes. I'm a magician and... He didn't let me finish that sentence. You said your name was Jackie? Never heard of a magician with that name. And you know every magician in the country? More or less, if someone like you appeared, I'd have heard by now. We don't get a lot of female magicians, and that mask of your face is probably asking for gossip. Small circle, huh? I get it, the Europeans are the same way. So you are European, but your accent... Well, I was born and raised in the States, but I left with my master to France... to study magic with him. That was... what? 5? 6 years ago? Oh god, I was just a stupid girl who wants to learn magic. Now I'm still a stupid girl, but at least I know how to do magic. Anyways, where was I? Yes, we toured Europe for a few years, but then the war happened. My family was worried about me and insisted on calling me back, so here I am. I promise you I'm au fait with everything magic. I'm a professional. So, you need a magician? Quick, I am one. A wondrous coincidence, wouldn't you say? Yes, what a coincidence. You'll have to forgive me if I find it hard to believe that a replacement just showed up here and seems to know more about my business than I do. You won't even show your face. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. As we've established, you need me. Everything else is merely secondary. As they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, I know better. Things never fall out of the sky in my life. Chances are the horse has sharp teeth that are just waiting to bite me in the ass. I promise you, not only does this horse have the best of intentions, the horse also does magic. No offense, Miss Jackie, but I'm going to need something more than talk to convince me. I have a business to run and a reputation to uphold. How about this? You said you are here to audition. Do that. Show me an act of yours. Mind reading it. Oh, that makes sense, of course. I do your usual stuff, rabbits inside, crowd trips, escape acts, that sort of thing, but my specialty is in mind reading. Mind reading or a mind reading act? If you're good enough, there won't be any difference. Try it. You want me to try it on you? You have my permission. Alright, here it goes. Well, I'm trying, but your energy is resisting. Right. I think I'm going to need a stronger connection. Can you give me your hands? He didn't say anything, just laid both of his arms atop the table. I grabbed his wrists. His eyes are calm, his pulse steady. Now say abracadabra. Seriously? You'll need to come up with something better than that. See? Your energy. Resisting. I can't believe I'm going along with this. Fine. Abracadabra. Alright, now I'm just going to ask you a very simple question. You don't have to give me the answer, because I'm going to hear it when you think it. Sounds good? Go ahead. Are you sure? I can control my powers, so if there's anything you don't want me to know, well actually, now you will be thinking really hard about them. I stared down the barrel of a rifle and the jaws of a tiger. I'm sure I can handle a little magic act. Alright, if you're sure. Here comes. Your magician, Hattie. How did she die? His hands in my palms jerked slightly. Seems like he caught his impulse to withdraw his hands. But it's too late. In his initial surprise, his eyes flickered to my chest, giving me my way. Something through the heart. A bullet? The corner of his mouth twitched. No, a knife. A knife through the heart. His face turned serious. How? Through mind reading, of course. Don't give me that. Well, did I pass your test? Why are you here? And don't tell me you are just looking for a job. There's a reason I didn't choose to look for a replacement. The amazing Hattie left behind some big shows. Or should I say, big hats to fill. Do you have an idea what the audience will say to anyone who tries to replace her at this point in time? I know all of that, but what if I told you she wants me to be here? I received this letter a few days ago. I came as soon as I could. Non l'ho letto però. Something's going on in the circus. I need you to watch out. If something happens to me in Tolgi, please go take my place. I can say more right now, but please, the show has to go on. Amazing it. Ah, ok, l'abbiamo già letto. He pored over the letter, browsed forward. A letter from Hattie. What is she talking about? Something going on in the circus? Well, nothing's going on in my circus. If there's anything, I'd surely know, wouldn't I? He swore under his breath. But this means she knew she was going to die. Or at least she knew she was in danger. As much as it is hard to believe, you are right. But how is that even possible? Why didn't she do anything? His lips tremored. I can see the doubt and the disbelief on his usually impassive face. I feel bad for him, but can I truly rule on that he's the culprit? I cleared my throat and, as if that woke him up, he sat upright and his face returned to neutral. So the show is coming up, and I think there is a reason Hattie called me to take her place. We have a great opportunity here. I'm afraid I don't quite understand. I'm sure you are a great magician, but at this point I'm afraid no replacement can meet the audience expectations. Well, good thing I'm not here to replace her then. I'm here to become her. Huh? Let's talk about the plan. What plan? How many people know about the truth of Hattie's disappearance? For now, only people working in the circus. Well, also the police. Are you sure there's no one else? Could they have told other people? I can't be sure about the police, but my people should understand the gravity of the situation. Given that word hasn't managed to get out yet, I think it's safe to say that we've kept the lead pretty well sealed so far. I guess that will work. Would you please just get to the point? Well, let's say, hypothetically, what if Hattie was not dead after all? Could pinpoint the exact moment his face switched from confusion to understanding. You are going to be Hattie. Well, let's say the reason for her disappearance is that her face got injured in a practice incident, and now she has to wear a mask to cover up the scars. You had this all planned out from the beginning, don't you? Well, I am a magician. I'm not going to lie, to have Hattie come back, at least until we get the big shows out of the way, would certainly solve a lot of my problems right now. But I cannot in good conscience agree to this plan of yours. What? Sorry, what? Why? Come on, don't tell me you are sticking to some bullcrap about not lying to the audience or something. In case you haven't noticed, deception is kind of the nature of your trade. No, that's not ideal, but I don't think it's breaking any non-existent code of ethics or anything. Then why in the world would you say no? Do you enjoy being grilled by the press and customers every damn day? He crossed his arms. I don't know if this had occurred to you, Miss Jackie, but the killer is still out there. This crazy plan of yours will surely draw their attention, and therefore put you in mortal danger. You are worried about me? Oh, that's real sweet, but don't you worry about me, I can take care of myself. You don't understand, I will not have another death happen under my watch. Trust me, nothing is going to happen. How can you be so sure? Think about it. Whoever killed her was definitely counting on her to get out of the way for something. So my appearance is going to put a wrench in their plan. If it were you, What would you do? I have no idea. You'd panic, scramble to come up with something new, right? That's when you make mistakes. A magician should never do a trick when you think someone's seen through it. So you want to, what? Talk to everyone, see what their reaction is? How's that going to help? Mind reader here, remember? I'm not some detective with a magnifying glass concerned about footprints or crime scenes. I deal with matter of art. Whoever did this must have done so for a reason. Why? What was their relationship with Ati? Do they feel guilty or cocky or relieved? One may keep the evidence of their crime hidden, but their heart will always remember what their mind has tried to forget. So if I ask them about Hattie, feelings will emerge, and I think some interesting things might come up. Are you absolutely sure about this? I'm fully aware of the risks. Besides, who am I to throw away someone's dying wish? The show must go on, and when the person who walks in the shadow decides to come out, rest assured I have plenty of tricks up to my sleeve to deal with them. Or should I say, up my dress? Whoa, what are you? He quickly turned his head around to avoid looking. No, look! I tapped on the metal on the gun of my leg holster. Oh, yep, what do you say? Alright, but the first sign of trouble I'm pulling you out. Awesome, the plan is a go. Now, let's talk logistics. Alright, first thing first, this thing we are doing, I'll have to explain it to the rest of the crew. They know about Hattie, so it will be crazy if they see you showing up out of nowhere. Of course, but you might want to leave out a few details. Yes, I'll just tell them it's my idea to get someone to play her to tie us over until the show are finished. Second, I think you might pass as her from afar, but you are going to need everything on your side for everyone to believe it, especially with all the scrutiny you are going to be under. It will help if you are in something familiar. You'll need to change into her costume. I was going to ask you about that. You need to go find Alice, our mechanic. Your mechanic? Yes, Alice is in charge of our stage props and costumes. She also helps with pretty much everything that has to do with show arrangements. She's the only one besides the performers that knows what happened to Ati. I'm sorry, but I can't really leave the office. I'm expecting someone important. I'll write you a note. She'll understand when she sees it. And here's a map. This time of day, Alice is definitely backstage. See, at the little tent right behind the big top. Just introduce yourself and she'll help you with the costume. And she'll tell you everything you need to know for your performance tonight. I can do that. Now for the last thing. It is absolutely imperative that you don't go wandering around in the public areas before you are formally introduced to the audience. Got it, can spoil the surprise, right? We are walking a tightrope here. We can't let anyone spot you in an under-controlled environment. Of course, is that all? Yes, get into costume, don't let the public spot you, and remember that the performers know about the rules. If we can manage these things, maybe we'll manage to pull off this crazy plan of yours. You are a great musician in your own way. I'll take that as a compliment. It is. Alright, unless you have anything else to ask me, you need to be on your way. Ok, molto fico l'inizio, mi piace. Mi piace sia il personaggio di lei che la situazione in cui ci troviamo. Ci sta. Oh, my head hurts. Where am I? Quindi c'è anche un detective. Alright, think. Someone clearly did this to me. I need to find them and do something. I need to figure out where I am and how I got here. First thing first, I'm going to need some pens. Really? Did I have to tag my jacket and pants too? What was I wearing again? Shit, I can't remember. That can't be good. Why I can't I remember? Is it a concussion? Whatever I was wearing, it probably isn't worth much. Whoever took them must be desperate. Okay, alright, don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. At least this guy left me with the underskirt and shorts and some dignity. I got up from the ground slowly, crowding my poor head. As I stood up, something small fell to the ground. A bobby pin? Must have fallen out of my pocket when they took off my jacket. Now freshly awakened, I stood awkwardly in my undergarments in a place I don't know. I took a peek around the corner. Thankfully, there doesn't seem to be that many people around. I stepped out from the back of a train car and looked around. I have a feeling I'm not in San Francisco anymore. What was I doing in a circus of all places? I looked around to see if there's any passerby that can give me some much needed information. Unfortunately, the whole wide field is occupied with nothing but the early autumn chill air. But I spotted something in the distance, a payphone booth next to a train station. Right, I can call Ruth. Hopefully she can tell me something about what case I was working on. I rubbed my arms for some heat and added to the phone booth. Is it really that cold, or is it just me feeling naked? I tucked into the phone booth and closed the door. There's a clock in the payphone booth. It's 10 in the morning. Time doesn't wait for anyone. In one time block, you only have limited chances to take action before the time runs out. This is measured by action points. You can see how many are remaining on top left. Ok, quindi abbiamo 5 azioni quest'ora. Performing actions such as using the collection to inquire or contradict will cost AP. So think strategically about what you want to spend your AP on. The time block will end automatically when your AP runs out, so don't forget to keep an eye on it. Alright, I should call Ruth and get a grip on the situation. Let's hope Ruth has some good news for me. At least tell me I have a hotel room nearby with some clothes or something. Shit, I am an idiot. Of course I don't have a cent on me. Shit. Infatti ci stavo pensando, dico cosa va a telefonare se non ha niente. No one around to help either. Maybe I'll get lucky and somebody forgot to collect their change. No dice. Okay, only one way left then. All I need is to ground the transmitter and the circuit will work. Just like if a coin has passed through it. And it's something metal and small. Dialing. What city, please? San Francisco, California, please. The number for Jones Investigative Services. Jones on Market Street. Check-in under Jones Investigative Service. Jones on Market Street. Connecting. Hello, Jones Investigative Services. How can I help you? Abbiamo già usato 2 azioni. I think someone hit me in the head. Oh, sorry, are you okay? Are you looking for help? No, I'm fine, but they took all my stuff and my clothes. And I don't remember why I'm here. What day is it? It's Sunday the 23rd. Then I think I don't remember the past few days. I'm sorry, what that happened, sir? But why are you calling this number? Do you need a PI's help? I'm afraid Detective Jones is busy with another case at the moment, so... Ma io sono Detective Jones. Yeah, I know, because I'm him, Detective Jones, I mean. What? Ruth, it's me. Seriously? Prove it. My birth date is June 6th, 1920. My favorite food is goat cheese with cranberries and my middle name is Julius because my mom likes alliteration way too much. Mr. J, it's really you. I didn't even recognize your voice over the phone. You... Why didn't you just tell me it's you? What were you thinking? Sorry, just thought I'd break the news to you in a fun way. Fun, he said. You are insane. Anyways, what's the situation over there? You okay? Do you need me to call someone to help? No, I'm fine. I mean, I need to find something to wear real fast, and it's kind of getting cold out here. I think whoever hit me took the wallet too, unless I didn't have it with me, which seems unlikely. And my head kind of hurts. I think it might be a concussion, can't be sure. I don't remember where I was staying and if I need money to get there, then I'm kind of fucked. I kind of made this call illegally too, since again, I don't have any money on me. But it's just 2 cents, I'm sure the payphone company can survive it. So yeah, but other than that, I'm great. Sounds like quite a day. So the last thing I remembered was when I was in San Francisco. I'd wager I missed a few days. I'm gonna need some ketchup if you don't mind. Mr. J, with the amount of time your brain gets tossed around in your skull, it's a wonder you still have a mind left, let alone to be a detective. Well, that's why I'm the best person for the job. You just tell yourself that. So, I assume I'm here for a job. I remember something about a call from the Talgate. That was like 4 or 5 days ago. Seriously? Whoever knocked you out must have gotten a good hit. Alright, I think I know the basics. I can give you a basic rundown of the case. Cosa chiediamo? Il cliente. So, who's the client? Our client is Moses Morgan, the owner of Morgan's Magical Traveling Circus. Anything else we'll know about Mr. Morgan? Not much, he's not the usual P.T. Barnum type. From what I could gather, he's not really one for the spotlight. But he seems to have a good rep in the business. No one seems to have any big issues against him. Which could either be a good sign or a very bad sign. Well, I guess you are going to find out. Ma non stiamo spendendo AP per queste domande, professore. So what happened at the circus? The circus magician, the amazing Hetty, is missing. Since when? Since Monday, so it's been almost a week. Perché non hanno chiamato la polizia? So the magician has been missing for almost a week. Why didn't they call the police? From what I understand, they did. So why me? Well, you'll have to ask the client himself. Okay, I guess I need to talk to the client as soon as possible, or maybe I already did? What a thought. I can't well go see him dressed like this. Please tell me you know where I'm supposed to be staying at. Of course, it's not like you ever book the room yourself. You are supposed to be staying at the motel nearby on Shermer Road. It's right next to a circus, you should find it with no trouble. Alright, that's the plan for now. Motel, put some clothes on, and then talk to the circus boss. I'll get on it. Thanks, Ruth. I'll see you when I get back to San Fran. And say hi to Thief for me. Don't let him steal too many sandwiches. Be careful. Wait until your mother hears about it, young man. I was hoping to avoid that. You should know better by now. That woman knows everything. At least hold off on tattling to her until I get the chance to do it myself, please. Sure, you're the boss. Wait, one more thing before you go. What? Be careful with doing your detective thing in the circus. Yep, we already covered that. My head will remain intact for the rest of this investigation, I promise. I don't mean be careful with yourself, that's a lost cause at this point. I mean be careful with the circus people. What do you mean? Look, I had a cousin who was in the circus back in the day. The Carnies. It's almost like they have their own little secret society. They are insanely guarded to those that they see as outsiders. They'll cooperate if they have to, but they'll never actually tell you anything useful if they don't at least respect you. So don't go all the way in doing your thing. What thing? I don't have a thing. You know you are you, and that might make them anxious. What does it mean exactly? I can hear a singing into the phone. You know, you look like someone that might arrest them. But I'm not a cop. Just be more gentle, okay? Try getting Ben to trust you. Easier said than done. I know. Never mind. I'm sure I will let all work out. It will all work out. It usually does for you, though I have no idea why. Now, anything else, boss? Nope. You better go then. Lots of work to do. Sometimes I think she only pretends to call me boss. Mentally prepared myself and opened the payphone booth door again. I peeked my head out to see if there's anyone around. But this time I spotted someone holding something awfully familiar. It looks a lot like my wallet, and the stranger, the robber, probably is now looking through it. I approached it quietly, formulating a plan in my head. It must be something like 6'4", with wide shoulders and arms like a barrel of cannons. As I'm moving closer behind him, it's like the sky has darkened with all the light he blocked out. No wonder he managed to knock me out. I'm not too egoistical to admit I'd probably, no, most definitely lose if I were to go up against him physically. And clearly I don't have any hand weapon on me. There's no one around to help either. That leaves me with very few options. Proviamo a negoziare. I reached out to pat him on the shoulders. Damn, he's really tall. Hey. He whipped around in alert, almost tripping over himself. Despite his stature, he's obviously quite young, probably in his early 20s. Who? You didn't think I'd wake up that quickly, did you? Joke's on you, this ain't my first rodeo. What? Listen, you don't want to make a scene, do you? I don't? So how about this? I'll let you keep the cash, but I really need the rest of the wallet back. There are some personal things, they are worth nothing to you, but I'd like to keep them. What? I'm not going to. Did you say that is your wallet? Come on, you just took them from me, right? And where did you put my clothes? You already hid them? No, I didn't do anything like that. I think you have the wrong person. I just found the wallet on the ground. Look, just over there, outside of that train car. I was just checking inside to see if there is a name or something. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Oh. I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding. He scratched his head and laughed it off, eyes now filled with concern. Hey, don't worry about that. I'm sorry, what happened to you? I think someone knocked me out and took all my clothes and stuff. So when I woke up and saw you holding my wallet, well, in my defense, my head is still all fuzzy. Probably because of a concussion. You sure this is your wallet? You checked the inside, right? It probably has my name card in it. John's Investigative Services. From San Francisco. He opened the wallet and pulled out the card. When mystery surfaces, call John Investigative Services. Huh, we really need a new slogan. And over there in the pocket there should be a photo of my car. It says thief on it. Of my cat. Why does it say thief? That's his name. My friend found it funny because I'm a detective. He looked at the photo and smiled. Oh, little guy. He lingered on the photo for a few seconds, but he still managed to put everything back into the wallet and hand it back to me. Well, sorry about that. Here you go. I looked inside the wallet. There's the name card, the photo, and surprisingly, about $20 in cash, with a few quarters lying around too. That's not a small amount of money, probably a week's worth of salaries for an average worker. There's still $20 in here. Yeah, you said you were robbed? Something doesn't make sense here. Sometimes you might realize the information you have doesn't add up. Someone might be lying or you might be making the wrong assumptions. That's where another part of your collection, contradict, comes in. Choose 2 items from a collection that contradict each other to point out the logical inconsistency and get to the bottom of the question. One more note, you will still be presenting contradictions to people, not who you are talking to. If they know anything about what you are talking about, then the contradiction won't matter to them. Now, what 2 pieces of information or evidence doesn't add up here? Try using contradict in your collection to point them out. A robbery victim. A leather wallet. Oh no, contradict. Robbery victim. Leather wallet. A robber looking for money definitely wouldn't have left more than $20 of cash in my wallet. Yes, I thought whoever did this must have been looking for money, but there's still cash in my wallet. That should be the first thing to take, right? Perhaps they didn't see the wallet fall to the ground, and that's why they took my clothes, because they didn't manage to find any money? You said you found it by the train? Yeah, it was just out there. I don't think someone would miss it if they were looking for it. I'm surprised that someone else didn't find it and took it already, actually. Luckily, not a lot of circus customers come around here. Okay, interesting. So it might not be about the money at all. I should correct my previous theory. Esatto, boh, qualcosa mi ha... boh, colpito, ma non so perché. If, let's say, this is not for the money, then for what? Maybe they are just trying to embarrass you, like a prank? Well, I am certainly embarrassed. Can you think of anyone who might have it out for you? Funny, this is usually my line. Right, you are a detective. You can solve the case yourself, right? Maybe. My enemies? There are too many to count, really, but I don't think they'd let me off this easy. You call this easy? I'm still alive and no missing limbs or fingers, so yeah. It's almost like they are not targeting me personally. Maybe I had something important on me, some evidence, or they had to take it. I'm more and more curious about this case and the circus. And speaking of the circus, there's one more thing I want to ask you. You work here, right? Yes, how did you? Well, the gloves and the scars. At first I thought you've been in a lot of knife fights because, you know, the robber thing. But once I realized that's not true. You also said not a lot of customers come around here, which implies you are not one of them. Once I got that, well, a circus worker with a lot of scars, animal trainer is the obvious answer. That's so smart. Is that what detectives can do? Well, don't be too nice, considering I got things very wrong on the first try. Sorry for the whole assuming you are a criminal thing. By the way, I blame the concussion for that. Oh, by the way, my name's Rolf. Our circle is called Morgan's Traveling Circus. Of course he is. Looks this won't be the last time I see of him. Nice to meet you, Rolf. And you've seen my card, I'm a detective. People usually just call me Jones. Your boss is Moses Morgan, right? Yeah, have you heard of it? Well, you could say that. He's my client, actually, I think. He hired a detective? Oh, are you here about Hattie? I believe so. Wait, what if whoever attacked you is... I won't make any assumptions yet. Alright, this is all such a mess. Well, if you are looking for boss, he's always in the small square tent over there by the other end of a train car. But you should probably put on something first. Do you have anything to wear? I'll be fine, I think. I have a motel room nearby with some of our luggage. And thanks to you, I have my wallet back so I can get some clothes for myself if I need to. Alright, let me know if you need anything. He hesitated and offered quietly. I need to go, but you can come talk to me later if you want to. You can find me the Big Top at 1 PM or Fair Area 2 PM. I have shows scheduled them. Alright, I promise. Thanks for the help, really, I appreciate it. I bid Rolf goodbye and turned around. This is going to be a fun walk. What was the address Ruth gave me again? Schumer Road? No, non era Schumer Road. E comunque... non mi ricordo. No, sembra interessante però. I made my way to the hotel, trying my best not to draw attention to my attire. Luckily, it was a quick walk, and I think everyone was too enthralled by the circus to pay much attention to a homeless looking guy. The people at the hotel recognized me. I told them my key was stolen, so they gave me a new key to my room. After they billed me for it, of course. With all the trouble and the humiliation, the physical peril, this job better pays like Rockefeller himself hired me. I opened the door. My room seemed undisturbed. I quickly put on some change of clothes and started surveying the room. Però effettivamente il ladro ha preso le chiavi, potrebbe sfruttarle, o le ha già sfruttate, ma penso di no, o potrebbe sfruttarle in seguito per scoprire cosa stiamo scoprendo, o ciularci roba. The key to any good detective work is observation. Okay. When you see the magnifier icon on the left side, you can enter in investigation mode. It will cost you 1 action point to enter investigation mode, but once you start investigating, you can move your mouse around and look at everything in the scene. All notable items will be highlighted when your mouse over on them. Click on the item to get a detailed description. Sometimes, if something is particularly worth noting, scusate, they might be added as an item into your collection. When you are done, click on the exit icon to exit investigation mode. Ok, allora, quindi visto che ce lo specifica, direi che ci conviene entrare e guardare tutte le robe. Allora, vediamo qua. What's this? Some sort of flyer? I pick it up for a closer look. È quello del circo. It's a flyer for the circus. Morgan's Traveling Circus. That's the one. There's an elephant and a dancing horse and acrobat and juggler and prominently displayed in the front is a dark-haired woman in a purple ruffled dress holding a top hat. The text in front proclaims performance every night with a flowery signature from the amazing Hattie. I think that's our missing person. Finally, I never thought I'd miss the feeling of clothes on my skin so much. Most of my belongings are still lying neatly in the suitcase. I don't even remember what I packed. It looks like a few days worth of clothes and some of my tools, ropes, handcuffs, binocular and the like. Don't think I need them on this occasion though. A generic hotel nightstand. The first thing I checked was the drawers. They are all empty. The ashtray is conspicuously empty too. Either they cleaned it out, which would make them a motel with the best service on this continent, or I didn't even have time to enjoy a cigarette in this room. Quindi fuma. Questi sono dei libri, a map of the hotel of the local area and a phone book. Looks like I was doing little research upon arrival. My trusty trench coat. I'll put it on before I leave the door. It's good for a cold or rainy day. It's breathable and light. It blends in easily in the crowd, and perhaps most important of all, it looks great on me. And people wonder why my wardrobe is full of them. Quindi è una vagonata di trench, tutti... Questo abbiamo già visto, C'è... No. Questo salva. Credo. Niente, usciamo dall'investigazione. End of turn. Sono le 11. Alright, I think I got everything I need. It's time to meet the client. Di nuovo 5 punti. Alright, Moses asked me to go find Alice in the backstage. Siamo di nuovo nel Malamaga. What did he say again? The small tent behind the big top? Bella la mappa comunque. Mi sta dando davvero delle buone vibe questo gioco. Non so voi, ma a me sta dando delle buone vibe. La grafica mi piace, la trama per ora sembra interessante. Backstage in actuality is just a small tent behind the big performance tent. I slipped in from back and pulled the curtain. It's not exactly tidy, but it's not the mess I accepted at all. It's a splash of loud colors competing for attention. From outlandish costumes to wildly patterned fabrics. Variously fantastical stage props are piled around the small room, making it look like sort of a fairy tale storage facility. It cleared my throat. I cleared my throat. Ahem. Tiny girl, a young woman, slipped out from behind one of the big boards that were obscuring her. A stirring of soft clinking and clattering followed her moves, and a stool rattled around in her pockets. She eyed me up and down, obviously wondering if I'm supposed to be here, but decided against speaking first. You must be Alice. She nodded. Great, I'm Jackie. What are you doing here? Questo direi. Mr. Morgan asked me to come here. Here's a note from him. He said you'll understand after you read it. I handed her the note. She quickly scanned it and, as if she couldn't believe what was written, carefully parsed the note again. I'm surprised that the paper is not going to spontaneous combustion from the intensity of her disbelieving gaze. Is everything okay? Huh? Is everything okay? Oh, yes. It's okay, I guess. He stared at the ground, silent for a long while. I just can't believe. What is he thinking? Dressing someone up as her? He didn't even tell us about this. Mi spiace, dovrebbe essere... cioè, ti sembrerà strano. Sorry to spring this upon you. I can't imagine what you feel like. Were you pretty close? This must be weird. You don't feel like her. That's because I'm not. I'm just going to pretend for a bit. Are you okay? This just doesn't feel real. I never thought. How did everything come to this? This is really going to work? We'll see. But first, I have to get into costume, so to speak. Right. Moses asked me to help with the costume. She looked me up and down. I have an old one, and I think you'll fit in it. Can I make some measurements? Sure. I'm still stuck on the awkwardness of the conversation we were just having. But for her, it's like once work comes up, all previous problems were discarded and she started moving with purpose. Almost before she even heard my response, she's already rummaging through a little pouch and pulling out a tape measure. Can you stand your back to the shelf over there? I need to see how tall you are. She charted towards the corner with a large shelf and started clearing a place to stand. Yeah, let me just move. The eye of the way. You can stand here on the right side. Back straight, please. Yeah, like that. I stood with my back to the shelf as she pinned one side of a tape measure under the bottom of the shelf and tried stretching it to the top of my head. With her shorter stature, she had to resort to getting on the stairs next to the shelf to read the result. Okay, something around 5'8". Etty was 5'6". I could have told you that, my height, I mean. Sorry, I just like to measure things myself. She pulled the tape measure back and pulled out another one from her pouch, a soft one, and quickly took measurement of my shoulder and waist. Hold your arms straight to the side. With a tape measure in her hand and numbers scribbled on her notebook, she now looks so much more assured and comfortable, making comments like she is in her own zone. Alright, I'm done now. I let out the breath I've been holding and relaxed my hands. She's jotting down something quickly on a notepad while clearly forming a plan in her head. I think we can get away with doing a few adjustments on her, on the costume we already have. So your shoulders are a little wider, but don't worry. There are a few things I can do to give you some breathing space. What's your shoe size? I'm not sure. How can you not be sure? Aren't measurements in the States different? Right, you were in Europe or of something. She ducked into a pile of stuff on the other side of the room and came out with a pair of purple-eyed heels. How's this size for you? I sat down on the stairs and tried squeezing my foot in. My toes are screaming. I feel like one of Cinderella's evil stepsisters. Yeah, you are a little bit taller than her, so maybe you don't need the heels. Let me see. She scanned the room and gave herself a little aha when she found a pair of old black knee-high boots from the corner. I think these were Chip's actually, but he's a short guy. Try these on. Let me know if it's too large and I can add insoles or stuff them. I slipped them on and my toes immediately felt liberated. Ah, thank you. This feels so much better. But the color, does it go with the costume? Black goes with everything. Wait, I think I have some of the dress fabric left. I sat there while Alice worked her quick magic on the dress and the boots. I just stared dumbly while she pulled out a pair of scissors from her tool belt and went to work. First she carefully took out the zipper from the back of a dress, hidden under the ruffle, and replaced it with a ribbon lacing on the back to give it more width. And then she cut long stripes of a purple fabric and folded it artistically around the boots, and then pulled out some glue. Noticing me staring, she looks a little embarrassed and explained, I know it looks little, but glue really works in a pinch, promise. And she was right. Somehow, with just a few touches of the glue, the fabric is now decorating the boot like it was always meant to be a part of the costume. Alright, can you try this on and let me know how they fit? In a blink of an eye, she laid out the dress, the boots, a pair of gloves, and the top hat, all on the sofa. Like here? What do you mean? It's backstage. Oh, you mean like in front of me? Sorry, we don't really have a changing room or anything. I'll look away if you want. I'm just going to change behind that big cardboard, okay? I ducked behind the little board. I had to crouch to fit myself behind it, and crouching was not a good position to put on a dress. Do you need help, with a lacing or something? I can hear her clearing her throat uncomfortably, clearly not keen on it, but probably felt compelled to ask out of obligation. No, I'm good, almost done. With some awkward shuffling, I'm pretty sure I finally got everything on. I'm just not sure I could get one of it without some significant wiggling. Alright, I'm done. Alice looked me up and down with a kind of dazed look in her eyes. Alice? Yes, everything fine? Fits okay? Everything's fine, great actually. That's it then, I think. Do you want to take a look? She gestured to the makeup mirrors. I peeked. Pensavo avesse una maschera più facciale che non giusto che copra gli occhi. I could hardly recognize myself. Whoa! Looks... I know. So I'd be keeping this for the big show tonight. Oh, that reminds me, we should talk a little about show arrangements. The big show starts at 7 every night and goes for 3 hours. Usually the ringmaster do a routine to introduce all the performance up front. But since your appearance is supposed to be a surprise, I think it will be better for you to only do the closing act from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. You need to be in a little early, so we can go over some last minute arrangements, so maybe come back here at 8 p.m? It will be easier then, too, because everyone will be in the big top watching the show. You don't need to worry about someone seeing you. Alright, be back here at 8, got it. So what now? Actually, I wanted to check on the Calliope at the fair, but it's not urgent. But if you have more questions, I can stay. Or if you want to go somewhere else, you can leave. Want to switch up the scenery? When you see this map icon on the left side, it means you can choose to move to another location. Simply click on the icon to open your map and choose on the map which location you wish to go next. In the future, you'll also be able to choose which location you want to go to in the beginning of every turn. Those don't cost any action point. However, if you wish to move from one location to another in the middle of a turn, it will cost you 1 AP. Ok, allora noi abbiamo ancora 4 punti qua che possiamo spendere. Il video sta durando davvero parecchio anche perché sto leggendo tanto. Quindi noi abbiamo 2 personaggi che stiamo utilizzando in questo momento. Allora, ispezioniamo la stanza qua che può sempre servire. A tall wooden shelf. Vabbè, non leggo tutto, solo ci mettiamo dei decenni. Che carte enormi. Non c'è niente di eccezionale qua. No, ho cliccato di nuovo. Niente di interessante, quindi ho ispezionato tutto, ma niente di interessante. Proviamo a parlare con lei di qualcosa. Se no spendiamo un punto ad andarcene altrove. No, inquire. Parliamo con lei di Moses. Parliamo con lei della situazione al circo. So this whole Etty situation seems to be the talk of the town. I know it's been crazy. So if you don't mind me asking, how has this been affecting the business? Are people really returning their tickets and stuff? I don't really know, it's not for me to worry about. But thing just feels so wrong. I remember a time when circus coming to town would be the biggest thing ever. People would drive for hours and contract boats just to come to see the performance. Kids would try to sneak in or do all kinds of odd jobs for them so they'll give us a free ticket. And then we'd go see the acrobat ladies and the elephants. If you run to the front row and reach your hand out, you could touch the horses and elephants. It was magical. But it seems like people are just as impressed with what we do these days, you know? It seems like they are accepting people to be shot out of cannons of birds that will turn into snakes or something. I don't know, maybe I'm being too... It just seems like they don't really understand what the circus is about. I don't really know about the number stuff, but the boss doesn't seem to be worried about it, so I guess it's fine. I don't really care if it makes a ton of money or just enough. As long as we keep going, I'll be here. Prima parlare di Moses, già che ci siamo. Ah, c'è il braccialetto quello per portaspilli. Carina sta cosa. Mi piace come è caratterizzata questo personaggio. Ci sta. Sono in gamba questi qua. How long have you been working for Moses? 4 years now. And what do you think about him? What do you want to ask me about the boss? Didn't he send you here? I just wanted to ask what's like to work for him. You know, employee to employee, that kind of thing. You don't need to worry about that. Moses is a good boss. Why do you say that? He's always on time with the money, even when business is not doing well. He's good with people, doesn't make us to do stuff that we don't want to do. I don't know, he's just nice, I guess. Forgive me, I'm not too familiar with the American circus business, but from what I understood, he has a pretty good reputation here, yes? Yeah, Moses has been in the industry forever, you know? He knows everyone and everyone who somebody in the circle knows him. Good to know. Thank you for your honesty. It's fine, I mean, we'll be co-workers, you need to know what kind of person he is. E no, infatti per quello che chiedevo. Chiediamo a lei di se stessa allora. Moses told me you work the magic around here. Me? I don't perform or anything, I just make stuff. What kind of stuff do you make? Props mostly. I paint on boards a lot. Oh, I also make some of the costumes, I guess. Not anything fancy with sequins or leather, but the regular stuff. Also, fix things, so if you have something that's broken, you can take it to me and I'll try my best. Don't sell yourself short, that sounds really awesome. I've never met anyone who can handle all this stuff. How did you learn these things? Well, I kind of just picked them up here and there. I learned most of the technical stuff from the old mechanic. He's retired now. And well, I knew how to draw before I came here. Before you came here? Yeah, someone in my family is an artist. Well, he knew how to draw. I don't know if that makes him an artist. He definitely likes to think he is. A wry smile passed her lips, but her brows were furrowed, like she wasn't really amused by that statement. I hated drawing. I hated the way it smelled. I hated the expensive paints. I hated the other artists who would host parties in their tiny houses and their wives would be running around scouring cupboards for enough bread for everyone. I hated all the time he'd spent staring at blank canvas trying to come up with something that would never get into galleries, rather than take any to do an art poster or something. When I came here I said I will do anything if they just let me stay. And Howie, the old mechanic, just looked me up and down and said, yeah, can you walk a tightrope 20 feet high in the air? Can you juggle balls, clubs and knives? Can you stand on horses? How about lifting 150 pounds of luggage from here to the train? Cooking meals for hundreds of people in a tent? Doing people's hairs and makeup without electricity or running water? And I couldn't do any of these things. He said, then I don't know how to help you, how you can help us. I said, I'll learn. He said, no. I said, please. He said, kid, just go home. And I said, I can draw. He said, well, why didn't you just say so? We need someone to do the posters. So yeah, the fact that I knew how to draw was actually the only reason that got me hired. I was too young to do any sort of useful labor, but probably too old to learn any of the tricky performances, so drawing was the only thing that I had going for me. It was the only time I ever felt lucky for what it does. Fine del turno. She looked away for a few seconds, leaving silence in the air. I can tell she's getting a bit tired with this question dealing with a stranger. Sorry, I don't mean to keep you. Did you say you had something to do? He took a discreet little sig of relief and replied with more spirit. Look, this has been... I hope I helped, but I really gotta go. If you have any other questions or anything you need, you can come back to find me later. Okay, thanks a lot for your help. I left the backstage stand, carefully avoiding passerby coming out from the big top. I was just trying to decide where to go next when all of a sudden I hear loud music playing on the other side of the circus. It's some sort of musical instrument, like an organ. I've heard in church, but it's cheerful instead of solemn. I decided to follow the music. Passiamo di nuovo a lui, all'investigatore. Però io direi che di roba ne abbiamo vista, no? No? Si è bloccato? E quindi la mia intenzione è di salutarci qui. Con un parere però piuttosto più positivo, perché il gioco è interessante, è intrigante, bella grafica, belle dinamiche, meccaniche e... e si è bloccato. E... e quindi lo segnerò. Cioè, ne terrò traccia e vedremo un po' come si trasformerà. Il gioco ancora non è uscito, non si sa neanche quando uscirà, perché non si sa se è un discorso di 2023 o futuro più remoto. Io come al solito vi invito a lasciare un mi piace, un commento qua sotto, iscrivervi se per caso ok, non l'avesse già fatto. Non ho capito perché c'è per adesso siamo lui, dobbiamo andare nelle cose. Ehm, Iscrivetevi per caso non l'avesse già fatto. Ci vediamo nel prossimo episodio del LudoNarraCon o in un altro video in generale. Ciao a tutti, buona giornata.